Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. You are back with me. Um, Excited to have you back. I don't currently have anybody in the room here with me. We've got um a group of people who are oh my gosh, here. Um who may be popping in and out with us. So I decided I was just going to flip you guys around and we are going to chat. Now, because I don't have interaction really with you guys, just because of how this is working and all of those things, this recording is probably going to be fairly short because I don't want to like sit here and wait for nobody, right? If you guys are watching the recording of this, you guys can pause, wait until you are done with whatever I have said, go ahead and pause for or whatnot. And then you can just resume once you are ready to resume. I'm checking the live right now, and I don't see anybody on the live. I'm gonna leave it up just in case I see anybody pop in. But my plan is kind of to just go through this. This is supposed to be a workshop style thing anyway. So I'm going to treat it as a workshop, just instead of actually waiting and workshopping, I am just going to move on. You can pause when you are done doing what you are doing. You can go ahead and resume. So this will kind of end up being a little bit more to your speed, I guess you could say. So that's the plan. If there are any questions as I pop along, for the people who are on the live and in the chat, I do have it up in front of me so I can see any live chats that are happening. Are you participating in this class or no? Are you participating in this class or no? There's no offense, I just need to know because I'm talking to a computer right now. If you're gonna participate, I need to turn her. Okay. So Scott is not participating, so still sticking to the game plan. So we are gonna cover GPS and 411. So first question is, what is a GPS? What is a 411? A GPS stands for goals, priorities, and strategies. You are going to build your GPS based on your one thing, your big goal, your economic goal, all of those things. And then your 411 stands for 4 weeks, 1 month, 1 year. And this is your action plan. So your 411 is your action, your day by day of how you're going to do the things that you're going to do to reach your goals. Okay. So, during the MREA series, we do our 411 first, and we use our 411 to help build our GPS. We're going to do it backwards today for this class. We are going to build our GPS first, and then we are going to build our 411 off of our GPS. And then depending on how long I talk and how far we do this, we may even get into time blocking a little bit. So we will see. I have all of these papers in my office. If you want a physical copy of this, please let me know. And you can come in and grab them out of my wall stack. If you are on the live and want me to just share this with you so that you can make a copy of it, I am also happy to do that. Just let me know in the live chat who you are so I can send it to you because I don't know if anybody is on here. So our first things first is our GPS. Goal, priorities, strategies. This is also known as a 1-3-5. 1 goal, 3 priorities, 5 strategies to accomplish that goal, as you can see on your screen. So this is entirely up to you, and this is where I am going to skip ahead. I want you to pause. So give me a second. I'm going to give you a prompt, and then I'm going to say, go ahead and pause. I want you to pause. When you're done, you're going to come back to me, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about your main business goal. This needs to be something that is quantitative, not qualitative, meaning it has to be something that is measurable. Essentially, we want our business goal to be a SMART goal. If you know what a SMART goal is, kind of maybe fast forward or a little bit. I'm gonna try and, I don't have a graphic for this, so I'm gonna try and pop it up on here so that we have a visual of what a SMART goal is. Instead of me just talking. Okay, so this isn't perfect, but we're gonna use this. A SMART goal is something that is specific. So I want, sorry, I'm trying to find a better one here. Pick up more of the screen. There we go. What exactly are you trying to achieve? It has to be specific. It has to be quantitative. We need something where we can measure it, which is your M. It needs to be something that we can put a number to. We can make sure that we know that we are in progress towards it, that we are making way towards our goal, not just like, are we there or are we not there? It needs to be attainable. It needs to be something in your realm. If you are a brand new agent and have not had a closing, making an assumption that you are going to have 20 closings by the end of the year or setting that goal for yourself may or may not be an attainable goal depending on who you are, right? We are middle of August. You have, if I'm not mistaken, rest of this month, September, October, and like the first week of November to get stuff under contract for it to close by the end of the year, right? So we just need to be kind of thinking about those things. It needs to be relevant. Is it something that you can impact within your business, and then it needs to be time bound? So we need to say in the next year, in the next 12 months, in the next whatever it may be. So for this, I would like to specifically talk about year when we're talking about time bound. So it needs to be specific. We need to be talking about a goal of 10 closings in the next 12 months, a goal of capping. If we are a brand new agent or our cap just reset, our one priority could be to cap by our anniversary next year, right? Again, if your anniversary is in 3 months, then we need to rethink this, but that could be a goal, right? Something specific, measurable. Can we reach this dollar amount of GCI? Can we have paid in that much company dollar by that time? Is it attainable? Again, if our anniversary resets in 3 months, it might not be an attainable thing if we've not closed anything yet, right? So make sure it's attainable. Make sure it's relevant. Does capping reach a business milestone for you in your real estate business? And then time bound by our next anniversary, right? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to come up with your one business goal, your one big goal. This can be GCI. It can be, we don't usually like GCI as a measurable, but it can be closings, it can be listings, it can be referral based if you're in a referral program. It can be buyers. It can be capping if you want it to be capping. It can be adding people to your downline. Okay, I want you to pick one main business goal. Go ahead and pause and then come back to me. I'm going to move on very quickly, so please pause it right now. Okay, so now we have our main business goal. We've decided what that is. That's going to be up here in the top. If you're not using one of these templates, you can just put it in a page. You can really do kind of set it up however you want. We do have Google Sheets and that kind of stuff that we can also use for this. So somewhere, whether it's a template, whether it's a blank page, whatever it may be, you've got your one business goal that you've already created up top. It's a SMART business goal. We're good to go. Now we are going to take that goal and we are going to break it down into 3 priorities that we are going to use to achieve that goal. Pretty much for the most part, doesn't matter which one of these kind of general topics of a main goal you're in. One of your priorities should be lead generation. If one of your priorities is not lead generation, we need to have a talk about why it's not lead generation. Okay. Lead generation must be a priority for you. From there, you're going to come up with 2 more priorities. What are 2 more things that if I prioritize them above all else, I will reach my goal? So it depends on what your main goal is here, right? Lead generation is always going to be priority 1, and then you're going to come up with 2 more priorities. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause and come up with 2 more priorities for this section, okay? Now we're gonna move into strategies. So I've left my other 2 priorities blank. You should now have 3 total priorities for you to reach your goal. Okay, depends on what your goal is, will kind of depend on what those priorities are. Now we're gonna come up with 5 strategies that reach them. So one strategy to accomplish our one priority of lead generation that would help us match our one goal would be, let's say, 2 hours of lead gen daily and actually holding our 2 hours of lead gen daily. One strategy could be, if we're a brand new agent, is to get 200 plus contacts in our database. If we're an existing agent, maybe it's adding 25 contacts to our database every month, whatever that may be. Another strategy would be implementing / completing a 48 touch program. Smart plan, any of that kind of stuff. This is going to be a strategy because this 48 touch that I'm specifically talking about comes with the quarterly call plan, those type of things. You also, for that full 48 touch to actually happen, you need an address, you need a birthday, you need an email, all those kinds of things. We need to do handwritten cards, so you need to follow through with all of these, okay? And then you're gonna do 2 more. So we have lead generation, we have growing our database, and we have following up with our database. So what are the other 2 things? Are you going to join a club? Are you going to join a group? Are you going to get on a board? Are you going to, what else are you going to do that's going to augment your lead generation strategy? Okay. Then you are going to continue to do this down your strategies for this priority, whatever this priority is on your GPS. And then you are going to repeat the process for priority 3. Okay. Some tips for this: don't forget about SMART. If you need to write down SMART and write it on this page as you're making this, make sure you do that. We want these to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So make sure you are keeping all of those things in mind as you're going through these priorities. All of these priorities at the end of the day need to help your main business goal. So if we get down and we don't have a 5th strategy under this priority, don't just put something to make a 5th strategy. It needs to be something that drives the needle of your business. Okay. So for this one, I want you to go ahead, and you're on the recording or on the live, go ahead and pause, and I want you to finish filling this out. Okay. Okay, we finished filling this out, hopefully, because you paused when I told you to pause. I want you to take a step back from this and look at what you've got here, okay? Are all of these activities things that you are doing already? Are they things that you are willing to do if you're not already doing them? If we put something on here, let's just say this 48 touch program, you're not going to do it. Then do not put it on your GPS, okay? These need to be things that you are actually going to do. And if they are not things that you are actively doing in your business and they are on here, then we need to create a plan to do them, okay? So that's going to lead us into our 411. This is kind of an example of like 411. There's different views of it. There's the one on the screen. This is what the one looks like in my office if you're going to come steal them from me. 411 is your action plan for your GPS. It is how we take our GPS and get into action with our goals, priorities, and strategies. Okay. So, the one on the screen isn't my favorite way of doing this. This one is actually my favorite way of doing this. This has personal and business goals all the way down the whole thing, because we really should be doing our best to live a more balanced life and making sure that we are good in all of the ways. So this one is not my favorite version of this, but this is the one that I could pop up in my Google Drive. So if you are using this one, I want you to make two of these. I want you to make a business one and a personal one. And the personal one is just that, personal. So what is 4 goals that you have for your year? Or 3, it's up to you. 3 or 4. 3 or 4 goals that you have for your year. We're gonna expand this just a little bit, okay? So what are 3 or 4 goals that you have for your year? You're gonna pop that into your goals. If we're on the personal one, just 4 personal goals. Can be health related, can be spending time with people, can be learning a new hobby, getting a new certificate in something that is not business related, saving money, paying off debt. It can be whatever you want it to be. I want you to put 3 of them on here. If we are doing our business one, your top one, we already know. We already know what our one business goal is. So you're going to put that in here. At the top, I also think you could put your 3 strategies, your 3 priorities in here as your goals as well. Because they should be measurable in some way, shape, or form. Okay. So if you're watching the recording or the live, pause what you're doing and do that. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. They have now unpaused and are now coming back to me in the recording verse. So I'm back in. Okay. No, it's fine. I'm making them pause it because this is supposed to be a workshop, but I don't want to like sit here and be like, now write your thing. So I'm like, pause it when you're done, come back to me. So but they have now written all of their goals. So we're back. Okay. So you now have your annual goals, your personal goals, your business goals, all of that kind of stuff. For your top. If you want to expand, if you wanted to do business goals, personal one, and then maybe a financial one, like do a whole 4-on-1 just on personal finances, do that. But I do want you guys to have a minimum of a personal and a business 4-on-1. Okay. So next we're going to move into our monthly goals. So the GPS is going to be super helpful for the business side of this. We're going to look at our strategies that we created for our priorities and what are our monthly action items that support our goal. So if I have an annual goal of 12 closings, that means I need a monthly goal of 1 closing a month, right? And then we would most likely need the activities that support that, which is depending on your conversion rate and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's probably somewhere around 2 buyer appointments, 1 listing appointment or something like that. I think that's actually a little bit high for that goal, but the activities that support that are also going to be on here. So you're going to take each one of your goals and you're going to make a monthly goal. So if I can hit this monthly goal of this, then I will end up hitting my annual goal of this, right? So we're kind of going the opposite direction right now. What's our year goal? If I do what monthly, I will execute that top goal. Okay, so you're gonna fill in your monthly goals for your personal, and your business. Go ahead and pause while you fill in your, monthly goals, and then you are gonna look into your weekly goals when you come back. So go ahead and pause. Okay, you've done your monthly goals. We are now working on our weekly goals. So this is essentially the same thing. We are going to do action items for each thing. So if I do this weekly, I will attain this monthly, which will equal this yearly goal, right? So kind of going back to 12 closings a year, monthly goal of 1 closing a month. So our weekly goals should be setting 2 appointments, holding 1 appointment, signing 1 contract, putting 1 under contract, or 2 buyer rep agreements, 1 under contract, 1 closing monthly, right? So that would be like week 1 would be that's week 2, week 3, week 4. So we're completing our weekly goals. So you're going to do that for each one of these. So at the top of week 1, you're going to have your week 1 goal that matches your #1 monthly goal, that matches your #1 annual goal. And you'll do the weekly for that goal across. Underneath of that, you're gonna put your second weekly goal that's gonna match your second monthly goal, that's gonna match your second annual goal, all the way across. Okay? Let's see if I have a different version of this. This is the one that I prefer. Okay, so week 1, I have personal goal #1 across that matches monthly personal goal #1 that matches annual personal goal #1. Then I have personal goal #2 across the weeks that matches personal goal monthly goal #2 that matches personal annual goal #2, so on and so forth. Then we've got our business ones, and then all the way across the board. Okay, when you get this filled in, let's see if I have one of mine. I have a digital version of mine. I don't think I have paper. My paper one's in my office. Here is my digital version of this, which is if you want like a more interactive spreadsheet than just a piece of paper, you can do that. So here's what mine looks like. Here's my professional goals for the year. Here's my personal goals for the year, and here's a money goal. This template specifically had a money, so we've got a money thing in there. And then I've got all of our months are underneath here. So we've got April through December. This is when we started it. So I have for my yearly goal of hiring 100 new licensees, I have hire 8 new licensees. For my yearly goal of hold up 240 appointments, I have hold 20 appointments. Okay. For my personal workout 3 times a week, I have workout 3 times a week. This one's going to be super easy. Travel quarterly, I have a planning for my quarterly travel and complete a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. I have train. Okay. Money, I have 5,000. Monthly is 500. I don't think the math on that works, but it's fine. And then we have our weekly. So then weekly, in order to hit my monthly goal of 20 appointments, I need to hold 5. The math on this is a little funky. In order to hire 8 new licensees, I need to hire 2. Again, the math on that can be a little funky. If you've got, like, let's say that was 6, I would still probably do 2, right? Dividing it across the weeks. This one's not going to change. Planning, saving, right? Again, the math on the save is a little bit off because we've got 500 usually by 4 weeks. Sometimes there's 5 weeks, so the math can be a little funky. Okay. The purpose of this is that you are taking action with this. So however you do this, if it's just a blank piece of paper, if you come in and grab one of these, if you text or email me and ask me to share this digital version with you, the purpose of this is that we are revisiting it weekly. So every week, pick a day of the week, pick a time of the week, put it on your calendar, time block it, where you are going to come in here and you are going to determine whether or not you are on track for your goals. Did you hold, for me, 5 appointments last week? Did you hire 2 licensees? So for you guys, did you hold 2 appointments? Did you put something under contract? Did you have a closing last week? Did you, whatever it is that your goals are, you're going to make sure that we are doing the items that get us into action, right? Did we set our appointments? Did we follow up with leads? Did we do all of those things? Okay. The point of this is to get you into action. Okay. If you want to take it one step further, we do have time blocking. So then taking these things and saying, okay, I need to hold 5 appointments a week. I'm going to put it on my calendar that I'm going to have spots 5 times a week. Let's see if I've got something on here. I have a spot on my calendar, for holding appointments. Okay. So every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, for 2 hours, I'm going to lead generation. So from, 10 a.m. to noon, I am going to lead generate, and I'm going to do that all the way across, and I'm going to hold myself accountable to that, so on and so forth as you go through this. There's nobody in here, but I'm recording it on. I think she's out on the balcony making calls. She's in action. She's making calls. And then you were gonna put this on your calendar and you were gonna hold yourself accountable to that. So if I do not lead generate from 10 to noon on Monday, I'm going to lead generate 2 hours somewhere. If I don't hold myself accountable to this, if I just say something else came up, I'm not gonna do that right now from 10 to noon, and I don't put it back, I don't move it on my schedule, I just delete it off my schedule, then that will never happen. And that is how we don't hold ourselves accountable to that. So you never delete anything off of your time block, you only move it. Okay. So if we don't do our 2 hours of lead generation, then we're gonna move it and we're gonna do 4 hours tomorrow. Right? Just like if we need 12 closings, we need 1 closing a month and I don't have a closing this month, that doesn't mean that I'm at 1 closing next month. That means I'm at 2 next month. Right? You move it forward. You don't ever delete anything off of your stuff. Okay. I know this is a little bit abbreviated because of nobody being in here and all of that kind of stuff, and not waiting and not having kind of the interaction and that kind of stuff. But that is essentially GPS 4-in-1 with a little bit of time blocking mushed in. It looks like maybe somebody just jumped on here. I'm gonna end this live. I do suggest going back to the beginning and restarting and pausing when I say pause and all of that kind of stuff so you can get the full gist of everything that we have talked about. Please text me if you guys have any questions. Email me, stop in and grab some of these sheets out of my office if you want the paper version. If you want the digital version of these, again, text me, email me. And if you would like to go over this with somebody after you create it, I would love the opportunity to check out what your goals are and see what we can do to help you reach your goals. So again, I'm going to end this because I kind of covered everything. This being a workshop and nobody being here made it a little bit hard. Just pause when I say pause and spend the time completing the task. Press play when you're back and it'll be as if we were here in a workshop. Text me with any questions. Thanks for hanging out for GPS and 411, even if it wasn't today at 1. So thanks everybody. Whoever hopped on here, please go back.